All right, let me make something clear. I am not the life coach. I'm the dude in the audience. That's who I am. I'm not the dude that's up here giving the speeches. I'm the dude that was sitting on the floor receiving a speech. I'm not the dude that was giving or creating methods to success and personal development. I'm the dude that was trying them. I was being told these methods. I was being told these techniques, and I was trying them. As such, over my time in being involved in personal development, I've come to learn that the methods that truly worked were the systemic approaches. I'm not a fan of the law of attraction. Personally, the law of attraction, in my opinion, has hurt a lot more people than it's helped, because it gives you the sensational idea that as long as you believe something hard enough, that you're going to receive it. Well, I did that. I did that for years. I used to do daily affirmations. I used to do vision boards. I'd create a different vision board every year. I don't do that anymore. You know why? Because I believe that if something truly works, it's going to work whether you believe it works or not. If you jump into a car and you give that car a crank and you do crazy meditations and believe with all your heart, with all your being, that car is not going to turn on, guess what's going to happen when you crank that ignition? The car is going to turn on. So either things function or they don't function. And in my book, Your Enhancer and Destroyer, it was really reflective, but in my book, Your Enhancer and Destroyer, I basically got all the best pieces of the personal development world, right? All of the best practices. So if you read my book and you're like, oh, Tony Robbins said that, oh, Goggins said that, oh, etc. said that, yeah, it's the best practices. Now, if you're in sales, there's a difference. You'll know this, but if you're not, we know, especially in sales, that there's a difference between sales theory and sales practice. What you're going to get in the sales training ain't necessarily going to be the tools that you need to be successful out in the field, right? Because we always joke around in sales. We're like, okay, you went through training? All right, cool. Are you ready for the real class to start? All right. Are you ready for the real stuff now? Because this is how you actually close some sales. This is how we're actually closing deals out here. Same thing with personal development. Same thing with self-mastery. Sure, there's a lot of great ideas out there, sensational ideas like the law of attraction and daily affirmations and vision boards and spiritual meditations. I used to do like Tibetan meditations where you would fast for 3 days and then do a crazy meditation, visualize your life. I did that for like 2 years. My life actually progressively got worse in that time. And so what I did was, in frustration, I'm like, what the hell's up? What's going on with this? This is supposed to work. And what I realized that it wasn't just me. It wasn't just, this wasn't just true for me. This was true for everybody that I knew that was running into this. The only people that truly believed in the law of attraction, that stuck with it, were the people that already had a successful mode of operations on the back end. And I noticed that, right? That's why the book is called Observations and Practices. The first one is observations. It's just me taking a step back, looking around and saying, wait, what the hell's going on, man? This rich dude right here that my mom's following, that she's been trying to work with, right? This dude's making a lot of money. He's the one that's basically telling his posse or his sales team, which my mom was a part of, all about the law of attraction, making us read all kinds of books. And my mom got us all into it. We were all doing it together, like all these daily affirmations, positive thinking transformations, and all kinds of crazy stuff, which it's not for nothing, right? Obviously, it did a lot of work, especially for recalibrating the mind from a negative internal dialogue into a positive internal dialogue. But other than that, it didn't really do much outside of that. But what happened is after 2 or 3 years of my mom following this guy, this dude seemed to get richer and my mom seemed to get poorer. Our family seemed to get poorer. So I'm looking back and I'm like, what the hell? And then I'd go to these guys' seminars, this rich dude, right? Like this dude already had the Lamborghini in the garage. He already had the big ass house. And I'd go to these huge seminars that he would throw. It would be business seminars, but obviously, there's a correlation between the sales world and personal development, so they seem to coincide. And there's this part where he just, for like 2 hours, he's talking about the law of attraction and affirmations, and everybody's just eating it up. So was I. But I look to my left, and I look to my right, and all these people got dirty ass shoes on. None of them really got money. I mean, money is not necessarily the filter, or like um the gauge of whether or not someone has value. Let me just say that now, right? I don't believe that either. What I am saying is that these people were following this guy in particular to make money. That's what it is. And none of them were, but he was making it all. So I took a step back, and I'm like, wait, what's going on here, man? Like, the law of attraction is supposed to work. It's supposed to be, daily affirmations, yada, yada, yada. It's been 2 or 3 years. We're probably broker than we've ever been, because we keep investing into this whole thing that he's got going on. And then I took a step back and realized this dude's got an effective mode of operations. It's not the law of attraction making this guy well off, or making this guy achieve his dreams. It's not the law of attraction. It's not daily affirmations. It's the system that he has behind his approach, right? He's essentially created a mode of operations that funnels the results that he wants towards him. It's this back end operations that is making him successful. Law of attraction ain't got nothing to do with it. The words of affirmation ain't got nothing to do with it. He can wake up one morning and think the most negative shit that he could possibly ever think in the most negative way. But as long as he doesn't touch his mode of operations, the money's going to keep coming in. So I looked at all this stuff, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe, and here I go with my conspiracy theory mind, right? Maybe this is why they're pushing the law of it. Maybe that's why all these rich people, all these famous people, the mainstream media pushes the law of attraction. Maybe this is why they push daily affirmations, because they know at the end of the day it doesn't actually work. They know it doesn't work. So that's why they push it to the top of YouTube. They push it to the top of all these other platforms. The law of attraction, mental energy, you can attract the world, the life that you want, your wish is your command, and who knows what. They push that to the forefront because they know it doesn't actually work. You know what works? Systems, operations, data. That's what works. And that's what this book is all about. It's about enhancing your perspective shift, the way that you view yourself and your interaction with your environment, your interaction with the world, because that plays a role in the way that you react to things. And I explained in the book, it creates a domino effect of shifting what you say yes to, what you say no to, that eventually shifts the life trajectory, your life trajectory, in a systemic manner, depending on the details behind the specific kind of environment that you want to build for yourself. So it's not a one size fits all. It's universal, right? What is the life that you want to live? Figure it out and you create a system behind it. And that's what this book is. So figure out what it is you want and the mindset that you need in order to provide you with that internal fuel to stay on track with these systemic goals that you created. So this is the test that I did. I did this maybe like 3 years ago. So chapter 9, non-negotiables. I actually help you build your non-negotiable schedule, right? So we get your core schedule as it looks like now, like your non-negotiables. So you got to wake up at 7 in the morning, then you got to wake up, you got to drop the kids off at 8, the core schedule. And then what we do is look at the goals that you specifically want to accomplish and then try to figure out where you can interject some of those goal actions sprinkled in throughout your core, your core schedule. So before this was a chapter, I did that. But I did it with a twist. I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to try to create this program for myself and test my theory that as long as the system is in place, as long as the mode of operations, everything is, all my departments, right? Like a corporation has a deployment team, then they have a warehouse, and they have a HR, the accounting, right? And nothing falls through the cracks with the corporation because they have a system in place that's fully synergized, and they all work with each other for towards a common goal. Well, what if I do that with my life? What if I have a department that is for fun? If I have a department that's for my physical goals, and then another department for my financial goals, and make myself the CEO where I have to break my day down into segments so that I can meet with every department? What if I approach self-mastery like that? That's what the book is about. What if I approach self-mastery like that? Would my feelings actually matter? Would my thoughts actually matter? So let's put it to the test. So I did it, and I did it for maybe 3 months. I worked out hard. I managed my money effectively, systemically, but I woke up intentionally having negative thoughts. I made my thoughts negative, saying this shit wasn't going to work. After those 3 months, I had lost 15 pounds. After those 3 months, I had saved maybe like, I don't even remember, somewhere like $2,500. I wasn't making a lot of money at that time. But before that, I had like $100 in savings. You know what I mean? I could never get more or less than that. I was actually, and ironically, I actually started feeling good about myself, despite having these negative thoughts and this negative approach to these goal actions. And that's when I realized the law of attraction, BS. Daily affirmations, crap. What matters is your program, the system, time management, data. Alarms were set. I was getting alerts for things on my phone, on my calendar. This credit card was due. Oh, my credit score shot up in 3 months. Like, so, and I went in here thinking that none of this was going to work, but it worked because it's about the system. So I was like, okay, let me get the best of both worlds and put them together then. So that's what I did. So I was like, okay, let me get some positive thinking. Let me enhance my internal dialogue. And despite me not believing the law of attraction is spiritual, that the spiritual world can manifest a mansion for you somehow, I don't believe in any of that, but I do believe in the power of positive thinking. I actually have a video, like a podcast kind of video about why I believe positive thinking is important. In short, I believe positive thinking is momentum, where negative thoughts induce stagnation or they stall forward momentum. And the reason for that is not because of some spiritual matter. It's because of an actual, just the way that your mind works, physiologically speaking, the amount of calories that negative thoughts burn. But anyways, check that out. So I was like, what if I couple positive thinking with a systemic approach to self-mastery? What would happen? I wrote a freaking book. I'm creating videos. I'm helping people in my life without even trying. I'm helping myself. Everything around me is enhancing. Everything. And it's not because of some law of, it's not because of any of that. It's because the system that you have, the program, your time management. What are you doing with your time? When you are approaching your goal actions, how effective, how much are you getting out of that time that you are carrying out your goal actions? If you're at the gym and you're there for 2 hours, you might actually be wasting time. You're better off working out 45 minutes at full send than leisurely at 2 hours. Right? So manage your time and your effort effectively. How do you do that? Buy the book, figure it out. It's all in here. I took the best parts of self-mastery, the best parts of the world of personal development. I took out all the fluff, and I explained that. I took out all the fluff and put only the perspective shifts and activities that induce lasting change, that when done correctly, will induce a shift in life trajectory. So get a copy. Your Enhancer and Destroyer is exclusively on Amazon. I'm a self-made guy. I didn't go through a publisher. I created all of this myself. Look at that cool little picture right there. I created all of this myself. Cover, everything is all me. Because that's how we should do it. We should be self-sufficient. We need to make time. I still have my day job in tech sales. I'm still killing it there. I got another side project that I'm working with these other guys for some restaurant packaging like company that we're building. And I still had time to write a book, and still had time to be with my family, and still time to hit the gym a little bit. Like, you just got to learn how to manage your time. We all got the same 24 hours. You got to learn how to use them. And guess what? Another piece of advice, have fun doing it. That's probably my biggest piece of advice. Have fun. All of this stuff doesn't have to be a daunting task. Have fun with it. Find a way to make it fun for yourself. Thank you guys. If you're still watching, thank you so much for your time. I hope this resonated with somebody, and I hope that it makes a difference for you. And I hope that you can check out the rest of my material, because it's all towards the same goal, and that is enhancing your life through a practical and systemic approach. This is Carlos Ramsey's with the Enhancing Mind. Thanks for tuning in.